My dear students, today we are going to the final stage of election system. Final stage is polling. Polling means to cast our votes. The day in which we will cast our vote is called polling day or election day. On election day, every citizen who is 18 years old will go to polling booth. Polling booth is a special place where some kinds of arrangements will be prepared for casting our vote. Polling booth may be government schools, madrasas, or community halls, or any other public places. So, if we want to cast our votes for our favorite candidate, we have to go to polling booth. In the polling booth, we can see a lot of arrangements. There were a lot of officials from the part of election commission. They will arrange the voting system in a particular way. Then we will be able to cast our votes for our favorite candidate. What are the processes that take place inside the polling booth? First one, identification. Whenever we enter the polling booth, an officer will identify us. They will look at the identity card or Aadhaar card or any other valuable photo document. Then they will identify the voter. Next, we will go to the next officer. That officer will mark on our left finger. They will mark and ink on our left finger. And next, we will be permitted to cast our votes. For that process, an officer will switch on the voting machine, then we can cast our votes. And after our voting, the machine will be switched off, and whenever the next voter comes, the machine will be switched on. Polling agent means each and every political party has a permission to appoint a polling agent inside the polling booth. LDF can appoint a polling agent, while UDF can appoint another polling agent inside the polling booth. And what is the duty of polling agent? It is the duty of polling agent to check whether the election is conducted in a fair and free way, whether all the voters are getting equal chance to cast their vote, and whether there are any kind of discrimination against the voters. So, these polling agents can check. Because the polling agents will be very familiar with the voters, because they are living in the locality where the polling booth is situated. At the same time, the officers are coming from far away area, so sometimes they will not be familiar with the voters. Next, style of voting. There are two styles of voting. In the earlier time, several years ago, our country and our state also followed ballot voting system. In that voting system, a ballot will be given to the voter. In the ballot, we can see the name of the candidate, his party, and his symbol. And in the case of independent candidates, the name of the candidate and the symbol will be given in the ballot paper. And what should the voter do? The voter should seal against his favorite candidate. there are three candidates, and this candidate is very favorite to the voter, then the voter can see again this name of candidate. That was a system that existed several years ago. And in that system of election, voters were putting a stamp against his favorite candidate. And nowadays, the Election Commission is using EVM, electronic voting machine system, for the election process. And what happened in this process? In the election voting machine, we can see the name of candidate and the symbol and also the political party. And against each and every candidate, there will be a button. The voters can press the button against his favorite candidate. It will be counted as one vote for his favorite candidate. So there are two systems of voting. First is ballot voting system. Second, electronic voting machine system. So I hope you have understood the difference between these two. And this election process is called polling. Okay, polling. So polling is all. We have studied about polling day, polling booths, and the processes in polling booths, and polling agent, style of voting. So polling is all. Next one is counting of votes. If the votes are polled by the voters, it will be counted. How is it? We can explain. After the voting process or after the polling process, the voting machine will be sealed and packed, and they will be kept in a secure and safe places. Normally, the voting machines are kept under high security in particular colleges or schools. And policemen or the army officials will protect these voting machines. And on the day of result declaration, that voting machines will be opened and the votes will be counted. And at the time of counting, the polling agent of each and every candidate contested in a particular constituency should be present there, because that polling agents can check whether the counting are taken place in a free and fair way. And at the time of counting, the media, both printing and digital media, will give full coverage for the election result news, and sometimes the media will go on live for declaring the results from various constituencies. So I hope you have understood the thing very clearly. So polling and counting of votes is the final stage of the election system, and polling booth is a place where we can cast our votes, and there are three processes that happens inside the polling booth. First one, identification of the candidate by checking ID card or Aadhaar or any other documents. Second, marking on the left finger. And third, permission to cast our votes. These are the three processes inside the polling booth. Next, polling agent. Every political party will appoint a polling agent to check whether the election process is conducted in a free and fair way. Next, style of voting. There are two styles of voting. First one, ballot vote. In the ballot sheet, we can see the name of the candidate, party and symbol. We can put the stamp against the name of our favorite candidate. And in the case of electronic voting machine that we are using today, there will be on the voting machine we can see the name of the candidate, party and symbol, and against each and every candidate we can see a button. If we press the button against our favorite candidate, it will be counted as one vote for our candidate, right? And after the election process, the voting machines will be sealed and they will be kept in high security, and the policemen and military officials will protect that voting machine in a proper way. And on the day of result publication or on the day of counting, the counting officials will be there and the polling agent of each and every candidate will be present there. And the polling agents will check whether the officers are counting the votes in a proper way. And the media, both printing and visual media, will give high coverage for the voting process and the election result declaration. Sometimes they will go live. So I hope you have understood this portion very clearly. Thank you. Have a nice day.